Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Makerspace. Today we'll be talking about stop motion. Where does it come from, all the basics, and we'll look at a few apps that you can use to create your own animations at home.
Makerspace, Makerspace. Check it out, Makerspace, Makerspace, Makerspace.
When I was younger, I used to make a lot of animation, stop motion animations. I remember my room would be a mess for like 2 months, and we would use these little figures, Lego figures. I bet that you guys have these at home, and these were the best to create our little animations. Let's go back a little bit in history and try to understand where does the animation come from. I don't know if you ever heard people referring to movies, videos as motion pictures. Motion picture. Picture is something that it's still. Motion, it moves. How does this work? A long time ago, there was this gentleman called Edward Muybridge. He was an excellent photographer, but he wanted to take things to the next step. So he came up with a new technology. With this amazing technology, he created the Zoopraxiscope. Some sort of a dish that would have various pictures, and when you put it in motion, it would project like a slideshow, but really fast, all the different frames, and would create things in motion. Amazing.
Muybridge shot many sequences of animals and humans using his innovative motion photography process. He became well known for his work, but the movement portrayed was so new to his audience that not everybody believed his pictures were true. A large glass negative was produced, and then a large glass positive which the artist, Erwin Faber, would enrich with vivid colour, and the finished disc was cut out of the glass sheet, ready for projection. It was the silhouette discs that were used for most of Muybridge's lectures, even though the later discs were more colourful. But with the emergence of cinema, these discs remained almost unknown, signalling the end of Muybridge's extraordinary experiments with making images move. Nonetheless, they are truly beautiful objects to see in motion today.
Did you look at the video? Did you go on YouTube and try to look for this? Very good. So now it's easy to understand that a video is not actually a continuous image that comes to your eyes. Are several different pictures, and when you see it, your brain puts it all together and it seems like it's super fluid, but actually it's not. And that brings us to the next thing, frames per second. FPS is going to be like centimeters or liters. It's the unit that tells us how many frames you have in 1 second. Imagine 1 second, how many pictures will you have in there? Take a look at this animation that I quickly created with my phone.
Poing, 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 poing.
So, this is pretty easy to create because it has only 7 frames per second. That means I created 7 different pictures in 1 second. That's why you kind of see the ball flickering around. Let's go to the whiteboard. So imagine 1 second. This means that I had to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different images just for 1 simple second. If I'm using 7 frames per second and I create an animation of 2 seconds, how many images do I need? This is how an animation of 2 seconds looks like. It's 14 different pictures put all together. And when you see it very quickly, your brain creates this fluid image. So the frames per second will dictate how fluid our movie will be. You can create very simple things like this, or really complicated like
I'm here to protect you, Kubo. And that means you have to do as I say. Don't mess with the monkey.
In the next episode, we'll look at the speed, velocity, how the way that we draw or move things around from one frame to the next influences the speed, how things appear to move faster or slower. It is time now for us to go for practical tips, things that will be quite useful for when you're making your own movies at home.
Number 1.
Choose something really simple to start with. Stick to one object. Because even when an animation looks very simple, if you have more than one thing moving around, it takes a lot of time. Let me give you an example. This is a little stop-motion animation that I created with the Lego Movie app. I decided to go for the letter E, not that it has to do with my name. Actually, I was thinking of escalators. I love escalators, minimum effort. But now I'm gonna show to you what it takes between frames. Look at this footage. We can see with this example that something that looks really simple may take a lot of time. So for your test, for your first movie, choose something really simple. Probably like the ball. Or if you're taking photos, choose just one object. Choose a coin on the table that moves around.
Número 2.
If you've been watching the Makerspace episodes, you'll learn a few things about light. And light is the fundamental thing for video. It's what our camera captures. So we need good light. And if the light changes from one frame to the next, it will give us that flickering effect. Sometimes, why did I do this? Flickering effect. I'm always doing this, did you notice? What was I saying? Pois. So if you want to have an animation that looks very professional when you're taking photos, you need to make sure that you have always the same light. This means that you're not using natural light, because natural light constantly changes. Imagine that you start shooting an animation in the morning and you finish in the afternoon. The light that comes in your house will be totally different and you'll be able to see it throughout your animation. So you want to use artificial light. That's the easiest way. Or you just stick to the flickering effect, which is fine. Another thing that you need to take into consideration is your shadow. When you use artificial light or even the natural light, when you step out and take the photo, make sure that you're not creating a shadow. What was this?
Powering off.
Make sure you're not creating a shadow on your scene. San Van. Be careful. Do not touch your camera. Do not move your scenario. Otherwise, it will look a little bit bad. If you take a close look at the animation I showed to you before, you'll see that sometimes the Lego plate moves around. And that's not super nice.
Número 4.
The same way you have to keep... So the same way you need to keep in mind that you need to leave a certain distance from your scene to don't create any sorts of shadows. Do not forget your hands in the photo. Do not forget your hands or objects that don't belong in there in the scene. Let's look at my animation once again. Did you see that orange object?
Nummer 5.
Battery. When you start recording your animation, make sure you have enough battery in your camera or on your tablet or on your phone, because if then you need to switch a battery or you need to move it to start charging, that's going to affect your animation. It always takes longer than you expect, so maybe the best thing is to leave it plugged in.
Número 6.
If you don't have a device to keep your camera, your phone, your tablet in place, tape. It's great. Just tape it to something heavy and sturdy, pointing at your scene, and that's it. Be careful when you press to take the photo. Sometimes it moves, so be really gentle when you're taking the photo. One of the apps that I've been using lately and that I have on my phone, it's the Lego Movie app, which is free and it's very easy to use. Take a look at this little movie clip that I created with Arnav in grade 1.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when we're part of a team. Everything is awesome.
So this was created with the Lego Movie app. You can record movies, take photos. After that you can add sounds, special effects. It's very complete and easy to use.
Everything is awesome.
Awesome. Here it is, Lego Movie app. You can tap to record and you're recording a video and play it. We go to the side and we can take snaps. You tap. 1. Can you see the ghost frame in there? That tells you how it looked before. And then you can play it. There you go. Snap. Snap. Back to me. Yay. Dun 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 dun. Very good. So as you can see, it's very simple. When you press OK near. Sure you're done taking pictures? Yes. You can go to music. And then special effects like rainbows. I love rainbows. Oh, magic is beautiful. And in the end you have sound effects like drag it. Then you can move. You say, okay, sure you're done with your movie? Yes, I am. Then it's going to keep it in here. Thing is, you'll have to create an account to be able to export it to your camera roll or to share it with your friends online. Another app that I installed, it's called Flip a Clip. And I have it in here. Put this one down so it's easier for you to see it. Projects and the exported movies. Probably you recognize this one. And you can start with a new project. Name, blah. You can choose a background, different types of paper, different textures. So it's pretty complete, or you can take a photo, add it from your camera roll. Choose canvas size. We'll talk about this in the next episode. What does it mean, resolution? It's for year 2, it's perfect. And then you have in here how many frames per second. And do you see that ball? 1 frame per second. It's going to create something like this. It shows to you how fluid your animation will look like. Start with something like 5 or 7. And then you just say yes in here and you create a project. You have all these tools to discover. When you install, you have a little video that explains to you how to use all of these tools. And I can start drawing in here. Create another clip. And you can see the shadow. That's the last clip. I'm gonna try to create the same one. And I keep adding, right? The problem with this app is that you always need to start from scratch. When you're creating a new frame, you have nothing on your canvas besides the background. Let's see how it looks like. There you go. It's a pretty easy app for you to create intros for your presentations for school. I don't know. You name it, you just need to be creative. Flip a Clip, it's a free app, although there is a paid version. With the free one, when you export your movie, you'll have a little watermark saying Flip a Clip. But that's not a big deal. Other things that don't come with it are the sounds. When you click to add a sound, you need to pay for the libraries. But cool thing is, you can record sounds. Whee! And then you can even edit your audio. Shorter, and you can drag it along your timeline. Whee! Whee! Several tracks that you can add, record your own sounds.
Make a space, make a space. Check it out, make a space, yeah. Make a space, make a space.
Another app that I downloaded is called Studio Motion. and it's pretty simple as well. It works like all the other ones. Basically, new movie, here tap to take pictures. Let's see how it looks like. There you go. Go back, you have all the settings, quality, frames per second. It's a bit more of a complete app. They're free, you just install it and play around with it. And I think that's all for today. So if you have any questions, specific things that you would like to learn, please just let me know. And we'll cover it in the next episodes. Alright, that's it. Ta-ta! Makerspace.
Makerspace. Check it out, Makerspace. Yeah. Makerspace. Makerspace.
Online. Destroy the Empire. Yay! Woohoo! Yippee! I don't know if you guys noticed, but I love this microphone. Yo, yo.